Recording? We are recording. All right, call the meeting.
Good, how are you?
Can I get a motion on the minutes?
Motion,
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody doing a financial update?
I am,
Where's Keith? You got it.
Here.
is out today. So the total cash is $13,476,090. Excuse me. The FAD is $10,596,640. And the quick is $2,879,747. If you have any questions, you can email.
There's
on
Keith.
my way.
Yeah, I'm always confused as to why some of these numbers never match up, but
which one?
well, like that, the total cash. I'm trying to find out, we have money in different places for fads, so 10, 4, that looks about right, yeah.
All right, and the next is the reporting and filing dates. We are up to date on almost everything. Keith is still working on the project accounting report that will go to the DEP and the counties. And also the annual report, which includes the project accounting report that will go to the ABO. So that's those are the only two outstanding items.
Has Vicky Tip gone back with anything?
No.
Holy shit.
Did you call her? You said you were gonna
I
call
called
her.
her.
You did? Okay. And so you're gonna take care of it?
I
Try it again. Project update?
So, excuse me. We are going out to bid for construction administration services and extra construction contract for Kent's MV 1000. I had a meeting with the Kent Town Board at the beginning of April. Everything went well. And moving forward with the project, we hope to get started this summer, as it is a lot of work on a hillside, so if we can get a lot of that done during dry weather months, that would be fantastic. Otherwise, as you guys can imagine, any little slip up or pushback with weather delays could really extend the contract longer than we would like to have. But I think we're in good shape. We'll move that forward. The property owners at the Walkabout Country Club have confirmed that they are on board, ready to go. We'll line that up for bid for construction, targeting June, so that everything is lined up and ready to go for a post Labor Day start. And that'd be a great one to get in over the fall quick. And hopefully we can wrap it up, including all plantings as well. Excuse me. As it is spring, I would ask that everybody contact their highway departments, DPWs, anything that those folks are going out and doing right now to try to clean up from the winter of any damage. If there's an opportunity for us to get phosphorus reduction credit from stabilization projects that your highway departments are executing without us knowing about it, let's take advantage of that and make sure that we're in the loop. Not everything's going to qualify, obviously, but throw as much as you can against the wall and see what sticks. Because there's always an opportunity out there. There's always something that these folks are looking to clean up from the winter. And it'd be a shame to let it get past us and not get some credit.
Can I ask you a question just on this?
Yeah.
You have some that are bold and some that are not. What does that mean? Bold or
is
fad
bad.
only?
Yeah.
Yeah, it says down there on the, I'm looking at it in front of my face. Thank you.
And Keith, the Tarria bit, any updates on that?
I reached out to Chris and Cassandra maybe earlier this week, I think. They're getting in touch with Greg
Okay,
to go over what's the next step
right.
and figure out, can we get this done? What are the liabilities? And we'll see what we can make of it.
Okay.
I sure hope we can. It's a fad project that we know we want to spend, have ability to spend funding there, but it's a large reduction. So it'd be great to work something out.
Do you know when they plan on getting in touch with Craig?
No, I don't have that yet. but I assume it's pretty soon.
Okay.
I don't know if Chris made the call yet, but we'll look into it at least next week.
Great.
We covered the O and M update.
No, we have not.
Oh.
Still got more. The, excuse me. O&M payments are almost entirely in. We are short Newcastle and Town of Yorktown. Once those payments come in, then we can send everything down to Westchester County, get that process. And begin paying everybody back, one, for all services. And work with Westchester County to then reimburse the Westchester municipalities. But until those two come in, we're not getting anywhere. I do think that somebody has to sit down with the Town of Yorktown and have a long discussion about the requirements of this program and participation for O&M. If
Are they not
anybody
doing the work,
has,
or are they not answering you, or what's the,
they are not doing work. I get the runaround for the last 4 years.
and who are you getting run out from, the,
Name a person.
Ed Lackerman?
Ed, I know Ed has tried.
Hello,
Um,
Kevin. Hi. Hi. This is Chris. I just wanted to respond. I was muted, so I couldn't respond to you earlier. Can you hear me?
yes, I
Yes.
can hear you now.
Okay. So I did talk to Greg. Greg is aware of the issues, and he was going to have another conversation with folks on his end. One of the issues is that the owner said that they would not indemnify over whatever these issues are, and that they expected the town to do it. So that's what created the problem in the first place here. And so we are waiting for them to get back to us, and that's where we are. And I think that's where we need to leave it for the time being. That was all. I just wanted to let you know that. And I can put back on mute, but for some reason you had me muted.
I think something got unplugged here because we lost
Oh, did
the
I?
connection. No, it's okay now. We got unplugged and things got a little wacky.
Okay, thank you, Chris. So to get back to Yorktown, I think somebody needs to sit down and have a conversation with them. They're way behind.
So who are you talking to when you say?
Ed would be where we need to start. Because again, it's
But
not. the
you
highway
implied that
department.
Ed didn't have any control with the highway, or that?
Ed had tried last year. I know, I think this is Ed's second year at the post. I think
Yeah. Yes.
we gave him a little bit of a grace period to catch up on it, but I don't feel as though anything's moving forward with it, so.
Well,
If
sometimes,
they're
you
not
know,
gonna be responsive to
the
me,
highway departments in many towns are elected, they can do whatever they want.
that's basically the situation.
Oh,
But again,
Okay,
so
well,
our agreements are not for the highway departments to do anything. It's the town's responsibility to make sure stuff
understand,
gets done.
understand.
So if anybody has a relationship there that they can sit down with them and say, hey, you're behind.
Is
the
this the
eight ball
only
here,
town
you
that
gotta-
this is
you gotta do it."
happening?
Yes,
I know Somerson's highway supers are very tight,
sure, okay.
so I can have.
We could try, yeah, the highway department in Yorktown tends to say, yeah, sure, okay, I'll get right to you, that kind. And, I can only hear that so many times until it's obvious that it's
Well,
not.
is there a possibility of us saying, look, here's the bill for us to do it?
Sure,
Send them a bill for 58,000, come up with a good number, and
Right, and give them a
Something to sign.
timeline to
Yeah,
do it.
Something has
we
to-
want something in writing with
Yeah.
him signing it before we did that. I don't know that he would do that. We could ask.
well, I don't think he's gonna sign it, I think he's just, he doesn't, somebody's not taking it seriously, we're just trying to figure out how to get escalated.
Right, what's
and
the
then
next, what's the, right, we have a conversation, they have to do it, then what's the timeline to
hold all
send them
payments,
a, right, letter?
hold the reimbursements from Westchester County.
Well, if they're not doing
That
any
amounts
work, there
over-
can't be much reimbursement.
No, because it's not their work that they're getting reimbursed for, it's their financial responsibility for the program. So they are come the end of June saying they are entitled to about a $30,000 check from Westchester County for work that they never participated in doing.
Okay, well, we should,
So
Their
we have to-
financial obligation to do that work flows out of the MS4 permit. Technically, they're in violation of the MS4 permit.
Correct. And I don't know if this is too much of a leap, but with bubble compliance, I would think that you're all in a little bit of jeopardy if one municipality is not participating.
So probably.
So from that point of view, perhaps that's enough of a nudge to get this taken care
So
of.
probably a
without-
letter from you or somebody, probably you, just saying,
Yeah, sign
the amount of money that we would normally be giving you, the 30, is not gonna be amended over to you until, we get
Let's
this.
let's see a plan, and see some progress, something. Yeah.
Is this a letter from the corporation to them or
Yeah,
attorney?
because the money comes from the county directly, then it comes from you guys, right?
Counting to us, correct, Linda?
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah.
and so obviously we have some fiduciary responsibility to make sure we're paying for work that was done.
Should we have a sit down or should we follow up?
Well, I think Ed, Ed was there yesterday, I think, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
We can talk to him about it.
I don't know that a sit down, we have to get to that point yet. However, I do think that somebody other than me, relaying this message might be more effective.
Well,
I'm not getting.
exactly.
The letter.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly what do you want done? You have to tell him he needs to do.
That there has to be a plan in place to execute the maintenance that started.
Okay,
this
so
spring.
the maintenance wasn't done. Have we gone out there and looked?
Yes,
Okay, and so do you have a list of projects that is to be maintenance on?
yes,
So if you could give that to me. And as opposed to just LN or, Y, whatever it is, I need just an address or something, so he understands what it is, I'm sure. So, and then I can just talk to him a little bit and say, you gotta get this done. We're sitting on money that's gonna be coming to you, but it's not gonna come to you.
And that's fine, but we should do the letter as well.
That's fine.
Right? No, we document everything.
But it's not just the money, it's the compliance with the MS4.
Yeah, well, I get that.
For all of us, it's like if they don't wanna participate in this program, what does that mean for them and for us? If there's like if they're just gonna refuse to do it, what comes next?
so we are anticipating releasing the 2023 O&M payments. Probably within the next 2 months, I believe. We had to get through Westchester Legislature and approval of carrying over that existing reimbursement value towards 2023 and 2024. That has been completed. We've sent in the updated voucher to Westchester County. After processing, if hypothetically we say 2 months, I would expect everybody to have the checks that were due to you for the 2023 in the month of June. After we've collected all the data, the 2 last payments that we need for 2024, process starts again, sent it to Westchester County. I would think, based off the history, we'd be able to release, excuse me, those funds closer to September, perhaps, August, September, depending on how quickly Millie's able to get through. If she has any questions. But that'll come up fast. Excuse me. Pollen is great. Yes, that's all I have for the O&M update for today.
All right, we have an agenda for the May 6th. Board of Directors meeting, quarterly meeting. We go with that. Any questions, changes?
Where's the agenda?
Is there anything we could or should add for potential funding from Westchester County and Putnam County? Or do we want to leave that as a coalition issue?
I think we're pretty well set for the 2 million, right? Do you know, did they talk to you about
When they were gonna vote on that? Sounded like
where it is? Well, maybe we can ask Millie for an
Yeah.
update and just mention that at the meeting so everybody's up to date.
Yeah.
Has Tom Snow talked to you?
Not since we've gone up there.
And what about the memo for the municipalities? We haven't sent
So
it.
speaking of that, that's something I would like to add for the agenda. We've all taken a look at it, we're all good with it now.
Now, what did you already send out?
I
Because
said that,
James got something saying he was.
Who?
Paul.
Supervisor Schmidt, right?
Yeah, did you share the memo with him?
Mm-hmm, and then I told him to call you and he called Warren.
Yeah,
That's right. Well, I
Yeah.
tried to call you too. I said, this is more of like an awakening.
Mm-hmm.
I said, we're not asking for a check. But he said, you gotta give me a little more time, if you want this much money to check that, so the first thing I thought was, wow, he's. Actually, if we gave more time, he'd give us the money, but I'm sure it's not that easy.
So I mean, we give them the memo and then what's our ask of them to do? Advocate, or are we all,
Well, I think the memo is intended to be a wake up call, right?
Right.
And
right, but
we're
then
at-
we need to tell them what we wanna do with
And
that.
we're asking them that if we don't get, these other funding sources, right? This is where we're going to be. And you should be making your controller and town boards aware of that. And hopefully what's gonna happen is all of a sudden, we're gonna have more people beating the drums for trying to move this thing forward in a positive way. For example, we mentioned Putnam County a few minutes ago. As far as the MS4 program, the crickets are louder than what I'm hearing from Putnam County.
Well, this time of year, the people, it'd be louder.
And
It wasn't. It wasn't funny, okay.
now, I don't think my town board or supervisor understands the cost savings by
Town
being
board,
in
they had
this
me explain it to
corporation.
them, and they were surprised that we
Yeah.
got that much of exposure.
I haven't presented it yet. It's my time.
Well, it hasn't technically been released.
Right,
Yeah,
So I think the discussion might be, even at the next meeting, we have something like, what do we wanna do? Do we wanna continue in bubble compliance, or does everybody wanna go off on their own? And, off on your own, there's more of an exposure, there's a definite exposure.
Oh, sure.
and you would
it's
need a
another
cost
challenge.
analysis of what it would cost you for your P reduction on your own too.
That's basically what this letter is.
Yeah.
Get you the cost,
Mhm.
you can work with the.
Yeah, I have 19
work with
kilograms
the
I have to
organization
find.
or not.
That's a lot.
Well, it is a lot, because anyone that I could think of, we already did, so we did.
Yeah, you also would all take a hard look at the, was it certificate of incorporation? None of you own the kilograms, corporation owns kilograms, so anybody who withdraws has a whole nother mountain to climb. And a discussion to have with the other municipalities.
Yeah, I mean. That's an easier thing, the DEC just wants it done, I don't think they really care.
Sure.
And then if they pulled out now, you would be already a year behind. You would still need 2 years. but
We're
you
already
would
a year
need-
behind,
Right.
so we're in virtual years. I mean, the end of year 10 was 2017, I think, right?
Yeah, it was a big, longer time.
It was 1997, 10 years, 2007, 2017, 2027 is the end of our next 5 years, so
Right.
we're behind. And
Would it-
they understand that, I mean, they've worked with us, so.
But if the members coming to the meeting, the directors meeting, have to go back to their boards and explain this, do we think they know how to explain this program?
Yeah.
Could we
Well,
do, should we do a
We should do something
abbreviated
here, but
presentation
I think.
of what this corporation does for the municipalities and like how it works?
that's a good idea.
And
Yeah.
if it's not funded, then what that means? Like,
Because
there's
half
a
the people at
PowerPoint
this
or-
meeting are
Or
not.
show the website, like, I don't know,
Half the people at this meeting are not gonna know why this thing was even created.
right, And how it's
They won't
funded.
hear.
So we certainly can talk about the MS4 program.
I think we
This component of the MS4 program and what it means to everybody.
yeah, or, I mean, Kevin, do you have something just on the corporation? Like
Yes.
How it, okay,
Yeah, PowerPoint's ready.
I think we have
Okay,
2 or
that would
3,
be
you can
really
send that
great.
out to everybody, so we can just take a look at it, and we don't need more than 3 or 4 slides, I think. to
Okay,
make
yeah,
the point.
we did one, we created one about 2 years ago, kind of as a onboarding.
Mhm.
Presentation that we could do for anybody.
Well, this one needs to talk about exposures.
Yeah, so I'll take that and trim it up and.
great, that would be real, I think that would be really helpful, and then. If there's anything to add about the new permit, and, that's just even more important to have this, and then the funding situation. Right, that could be added on after,
Yeah.
just a basic,
Mhm.
what does this do?
Okay.
That, I think that would help if we're telling people they have to go back.
There's another
and
reason
talk
too,
about it.
Yeah, that'll be very helpful.
people stopped applying for WQIP stormwater grants and stuff when we started it. I mean, I had 2, one for Peach Lake, one for another that. These folks picked up the other 40% on her, so it's whatever it was. But you're back into that. you have to, because the cost is gonna be ridiculously prohibitive.
But I mean, if we're expecting them to look at this information and then go back and perhaps advocate for something, I don't think many of them would know even
No,
how to
and
advocate
so
for
I think
this,
what we
like how to
need-
describe it, who to ask for
Get the-
help. Like, I think everybody will just be like, oh no, we have to come up with money now. Like, I think that'll be their takeaway because they don't know what we're asking for from who
Yeah,
and
yeah,
why.
well, we have to have an ask, in the ask, we met with the DEC,
Yeah, we need
Tom's
to
gonna do a
update them
couple
about
of
the
things,
DEC.
but I think the other thing too is we need to, get them all in a meeting with our local representatives and just tell them, you know, this is what we were promised. We're screwed.
Yeah, and maybe that's the follow-up conversation to the presentation is.
Yeah,
how
everybody
should
shows
we
up at a
proceed?
meeting,
Yeah,
yes, we get them
Okay.
all, and,
right, and that's,
you know, whether it's Hawthorne or Slater, or whoever else is, you know.
I own Nick Soul, a whole bunch of information on this, but. No, not Nate Soul.
yeah, no. Yeah, let's talk about it with the group, right? See what
Yeah.
good ideas people have.
Yep.
Yeah,
And then get all of our elected officials in a room, just tell them that. You know, this, because I really, when you get the emails that I got from Tom Snell early on. The amount of money we were getting was more than sufficient to cover everything, and at this point, we had maybe 12 million. And we need another 25.
Right.
And that's coming out of. Municipalities. And so the ones that are gonna be excited are the ones with the big kilograms, which are probably myself, Summers, you know, North Desert probably is gonna get really much. I think they have 0.9.
I'm glad they got so much money.
You know, they're not the worship.
Hmm.
And you know, at some point in time, when we talked about this a while ago, we may, at this meeting, we also need to talk about possibly getting, you know, getting lawyers involved with the DEP or the state to defend the position, because the last thing I want to do is try to come up with $1.5 million to do my, you know, my work, and you may be a little less kilograms, if you're gonna have the same issue. We should have done this before, but I think Tom really made me feel somewhat complacent that the money was there. There was EPA money coming to us. There was all this other stuff. None of it showed up.
Listen, they're only going to increase the pressure on us to do more and more and more, and at some point, if we don't push back hard. You know, we're just gonna buckle. So.
sounds good.
Okay.
So if you can get that presentation out to us, and maybe we'll have a quick meeting or two. When's the
May sixth.
May 6th.
May 6th? Okay, so it was on a week, which we did.
Nick, do you want, is that going to be a coalition thing, or do you want me to add it to the agenda?
I think it's.
No,
that's a
add to the
problem.
agenda because it's about funding for the corporation.
It doesn't matter what county you're in.
Yeah, Linda, I think if you do it right after the project update, because then I can give everybody an update on the status of the current program and transition right into. Like, what else we have to talk?
All right, other business? Do you have anything they want to bring up? Talk about? Motion to adjourn?
That's what one minute.
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Playground.